These two stories show the sheer havoc that enforced EV mandates are wreaking on the car industry. When there's such a divergence between government policies pushing EVs from the top down and minimal public enthusiasm for EVs other than early adopters, Tesla fanboys and subsidised fleets, the automakers are at a fork in the road, wondering which path they should take. Nowhere is this better illustrated than in the gulf between Volvo and Toyota on the role of diesel engines in the next few decades. Volvo, originating from the environmentally conscious Sweden, has been at the forefront of electrification for almost a decade and has already produced its last ever diesel car. Ever. It's going in a museum. Toyota, on the other hand, believes that diesel still has a role to play in the future energy mix and has no intention of killing it off. I think I know who's right, and I wonder how long it will be before Volvo starts blowing the dust off its diesel assembly line. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer turned Sydney YouTuber. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter X. Volvo has proudly announced that its last diesel car has already been sent straight into a museum. Volvo's last ever diesel car rolls off the production line. Final XC90 SUV will go to a museum as Swedish car maker bids farewell to diesel engines. Volvo has produced its last ever diesel car, ending an era spanning 45 years. The Swedish company's final diesel engine vehicle, an XC90 SUV, rolled off the production line on Tuesday at its plant near Gothenburg. The car will now be sent to a Volvo museum opening in the city next month. Volvo is thought to have been the first major manufacturer to completely end diesel production. The XC90 was key to the car maker's revival after it was bought by Chinese giant Geely for $1.3 billion in 2010. Under Geely's ownership, Volvo has unveiled a new lineup of electric vehicles, EVs, including the XC90's replacement, the EX90. Volvo is pursuing plans to go all electric by 2030. In a statement entitled, "Dear Diesel, it's time to say goodbye," the company said diesel engines had been our bread and butter in Europe as recently as 5 years ago. I'm sure there are many people who will scratch their heads at the speed with which Volvo decided to abandon diesel, given how key it has been to their recent financial stability. It's a pretty bold move when the EV market is declining rapidly and other manufacturers are hedging their bets on previous brash promises on EVs. And Toyota, which has always had a very realistic view of the EV transition, believes that diesel still has its place. Diesel not going to die off anytime soon, says Toyota. Electrification and synthetic fuels will keep diesel powertrains viable for the foreseeable future, according to Toyota. Toyota Australia believes diesel engines still have decades of life left, but admits the fuel source needs to adapt in a world prioritising electrification and lower emissions. Speaking to Drive, Toyota Australia sales and marketing boss Sean Hanley rebuffed recent reports that the oil-burning powertrain found in its most popular model, the Hilux Ute, is close to becoming extinct. Diesel, despite popular commentary, is not dead, he said. It's got a while to go, diesel, so it's not going to die off anytime soon. It's certainly a fuel source that I think will be closely examined over the next 10 to 20 years, but in the meantime, there is potential for it to have hybrid variants, reduce its carbon footprint. It's a very credible fuel source, particularly for heavy vehicles. Indeed so, if you thought EV cars were a bad idea, EV heavy vehicles is a truly terrible idea. And it will be many decades before there will be any viable alternative to diesel for such vehicles. Unfortunately, this is the result of the all-or-nothing approach of the EV-mad governments, driven by climate catastrophists. Rather than allow a gradual transition based on evolving technology and market demand, the top-down mandates for net zero by 2050 are forcing automakers to pick a side, either the governments or the markets, and many of them, like Volvo, will make the wrong decision. My money is on the markets, every time.